Hey everyone, welcome to the Explainer. So today we're going to completely reframe how you look at a piece of software that is literally and kind of secretly powering the modern world. We get so caught up chasing the newest apps, the latest productivity hacks, and the absolute shiniest new tech trends. But today we are unpacking a tool that has quietly been the absolute backbone of global business, science, and education for decades. We're going to see why mastering it isn't just a bullet point on your resume anymore. It's really the ultimate life skill. Okay, let's dive into this with a bit of a riddle. What connects a 10-year-old student sitting in a classroom, a 50-year-old CEO running a multinational corporation, and a highly technical data analyst? At first glance, absolutely nothing, right? They've got totally different goals, different skill sets, and completely different daily routines. But according to the source material we're exploring today, there is exactly one single tool that all three of these people will rely on at some point. It has totally transcended being just a technical requirement for computer scientists. It's now an essential, mandatory life skill for everyone. I want you to just sit with this number for a second. 36. In the incredibly fast-paced, ever-changing world of technology, 36 years is an absolute eternity. Software programs come and go, entire operating systems rise and fall, but this single tool has been an unstoppable, highly relevant constant for the last 36 years, and the data suggests it really isn't going anywhere for the next 10 to 20 years either. Our source actually provides a really fascinating and incredibly relatable analogy for this. Think about your smartphone. You, me, pretty much everyone else on the planet completely replaces our mobile phones every 4 years or so. We're constantly upgrading our hardware because it just becomes obsolete. But on the flip side, we have relied on Microsoft Excel for over 36 years. It is this incredible contrast between the rapid, almost disposable turnover of our hardware and the absolute permanence of this specific software. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why it has such staying power. A staggering 97% of laptops shipped out into the world, whether they're running Windows or their Apple MacBooks, have Microsoft Excel available by default. 97%? It's an infrastructure that is pre-installed on almost every single device worldwide. It's not some niche program you have to go hunt down. It's literally waiting for you the moment you open a new computer. And because of that incredible ubiquity, Excel has essentially become the universal language of business. Section 1. The universal language of business. Depending on your career path, Excel basically plays one of two roles. For some jobs, this software is the main engine. If you're a data entry specialist, an MIS specialist, or a data analyst, utilizing Excel is a 100% requirement. It is your primary workspace. But even if it's not your main job, it's a critical supporting asset. If you're an accountant, a sales specialist, an HR manager, or even the founder or CEO of a company, Excel acts as a vital supporting tool. It's the universal medium everyone uses to share and actually understand information. Our source shares a great anecdote about a young student who asked a very practical question. They asked, if we learn this tool, where will we actually use it? And the instructor pointed out a pretty harsh truth. When we learn trigonometry, like sine, cosine, tangent, or when we memorize the periodic table in school, for most of us, that stays purely theoretical knowledge. You rarely use it in the corporate world. But Excel? Excel is practical data management. Wherever there's data in the real world, you need a tool to manage it. And where is data present? Everywhere. IT, accounts, sales, HR, healthcare, banking, and scientific research. Whether you're managing inventory in a warehouse or analyzing complex variables in a science lab, you need to manage, organize, and calculate data. Excel is a 360-degree tool that handles all of it, making it universally applicable no matter which of these departments you find yourself working in. So, we've seen the surface level. Section 2. Under the hood. Let's really look at what makes the software so incredibly powerful. 484. That is the sheer quantity of total functions available inside Microsoft Excel. These functions are the true engine of the software, allowing users to automate calculations and manipulate data in almost unimaginable ways. Most casual users know maybe 5 or 10 of these, but there are 484 just waiting to be utilized. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how Excel brilliantly structures that potential chaos. It doesn't just throw 484 functions at you, it organizes them into 14 highly specific categories. So if you're working in engineering, you pull from the engineering category. If you're a scientist, you rely on statistical functions. If you're in finance, you dive into the accounting category. It's a massive toolbox, but everything is perfectly sorted for the specific professional who needs it. But it's not just about crunching raw numbers.
Section 3, the visualization engine.
The source material hits on a very fundamental, very human truth. A picture speaks 1,000 words. When you're trying to communicate complex data, handing someone a spreadsheet with 10,000 rows of text is just overwhelming. But presenting that exact same data in a visual format makes people happier, more engaged, and much faster at grasping the underlying story.
And to do that, Excel offers a massive suite of visual formats. You have your classics, right? Column charts, pie charts, donut charts, and line graphs. But you also have highly advanced visuals like tree maps, waterfall charts, and even rotational 3D maps. You can literally plot geographic data onto a 3D globe and physically rotate it to show global trends. This completely shatters the whole stereotype of the boring spreadsheet.
All right, we've covered the basics, the functions, and the visuals. Now, Section 4, the deep end.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because mastering Excel in one lifetime is incredibly difficult. Why? Because it contains this massive ecosystem of over 14 powerful add-in tools. If your task is data cleaning, you use a tool called Power Query. For advanced visualization, there's Power View. For complex data modeling, you use Power Pivot. And if you want to automate repetitive tasks, you actually write code in VBA, which stands for Visual Basic for Applications. These add-ins transform Excel from a simple spreadsheet into an enterprise-grade data powerhouse.
And it gets even better. Recently, Microsoft integrated Python directly into Excel. Python is one of the most popular and powerful modern programming languages in the world, and now it lives right inside your spreadsheet. This allows data analysts to run top-tier forecasting and advanced predictive analysis without ever leaving the Excel environment. It's an absolute game changer for the industry. Let's zoom back out to the macro level for a second. Why does all this technical depth matter to you? The instructor from our source materials speaks from the perspective of a company founder with 15 years of industry experience. And they note that because this tool is so essential, whenever a person is onboarded into a modern company, they almost always have to go through Excel training by default. Whether it's basic or advanced, mastering the software is absolutely crucial for getting hired, staying relevant, and successfully navigating the modern workplace. So, the crucial point is this: passively consuming explainers like this one will not help you master it. Excel is a practical, hands-on subject. You literally have to open the software, click the buttons, use the functions, and do the practical work side by side to build your confidence. It's the ultimate life skill, but it requires action. When will you stop just watching and start practically applying it? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you next time.